Welcome to the Healers Café, the #1 show for medical practitioners and holistic healers to have heart-to-heart conversations about their day-to-day lives while sharing their expertise for improving your health and wellness.
So welcome to the Healers Café. And today I have with me Liz Fisher. And she is an EFT International Accredited Certified Practitioner and has been working as a coach. Now, if you could, we're going to talk about what EFT is. I think a lot of people do know what that is, but there might still be some that don't understand how it works and what it really is and how to differentiate it. But before we go into all of that and how it can help people, why don't we spend a little bit and you tell me how your journey came to be? How did you find out about this? How did you know you wanted to go into this? What was your personal journey?
Okay, well, first of all, thank you so much, Manon, for having me today. I'm honored to be here. And my journey is I found EFT basically out of need. I have two boys, a 13-year-old and a 9-year-old. And when I was nursing my second son, my youngest, he was probably 3 months old and he never slept. He had terrible colic. I had compulsive hair pulling disorder, which is trichotillomania, since I was 8 years old. And I was able to keep it under control enough to where I didn't have to wear a wig and it was managed. But during this really stressful time of I wasn't getting any sleep, the baby wasn't getting any sleep, I was doubly exhausted. I was actually having panic attacks when I did actually get into bed, knowing that this baby is going to wake up and I'm going to have to spring into action and go sit in this nursing chair for hours in the middle of the night. I would be pulling my hair and it was debilitating. I thought, I'm going to be bald here if I don't cut this out. You know, how am I going to manage? And I don't want to take any medications. I still want to be able to nurse, but I was literally at my wit's end. And I Googled, I remember in the middle of the night, one night with one hand, drug-free ways to cure trichotillomania and stumbled on EFT. And I found some YouTube videos on it. So I thought to myself how to do this. And I did it a lot. And over the course of the next 3 months, I never pulled my hair once, which was unheard of for me. In the years past, you know, since I was 8, when I finally decided I wanted to do something about this, I was probably 25. I was able to regrow my hair. And at that point, it was willpower that kept me, you know, from doing the behavior, but it is such a strong behavior. It's an addiction. It's like I can equate it to alcohol addiction or drug addiction. It's that addictive. Smoking is a really good comparison too. Like there's a very, very much a sensory component to this pulling. And after that 3-month time, it was the holidays, I remember, and I started pulling again. And my parents are divorced. They got divorced when I was 15, and the holidays are always a hard time. So we, you know, there's a lot of stress around the holidays. So I started pulling again after that 3 months of nothing. And I thought, oh, I must not be doing this right. I need to see someone in person that can show me how to do this. So I found Betsy Muller, who is local here. I'm in Cleveland, Ohio. And I sought her out and I wanted to go to her house. I had a session with her to learn how to do this. And I was doing it correctly. And she had really never worked with anyone with hair pulling. And although we didn't kind of get to the root, if you will, no pun intended,
Yeah, no pun.
yeah, of the issue, I was so intrigued. And she was a trainer. And I know there's something to this. So my background is graphic design, marketing, web design. I have a degree in that. I did that for 20 plus years. And I came home from her house that day after that session. And I said to my husband, I have to do this. I don't know why, but I just do. And he never questioned me. I got certified, and during my certification, we had to work on something of our own that we wanted to have some type of a change personally, and we had to pick a practitioner to work with. And the only other person I knew that worked with hair pulling disorder is a woman named Joan Kaler. She is also now a master trainer, accredited master trainer. And we had to have 4 sessions with someone that we picked to work on, something with. And of course, I was picking my hair pulling to work on. And Joan was so familiar with all these behaviors, the reasons why we did it, that she was able to form these setup statements around why. And they resonated with me so well that after 3 sessions, I was able to stop doing it altogether. My client base now is mostly people that have body focused repetitive behaviors, such as pulling, skin picking. And I was also able to clear my panic disorder. I had severe panic. I had panic prior to having kids, but I was able to clear that panic with EFT as well. And also emetophobia, which is the fear of throwing up. I had that since I was a young girl because of a trauma that happened with my sister when I was younger. Grew up in a room that we shared as kids. So I do have kind of a very unique niche of clients that I see, but I've had a lot of success helping people. And I feel like, well, I guess I was meant to have these specific things in my life so that I could figure out a way to heal them and help other people that have them.
Yeah, I was picking up on this when you said that this Betty was her name. Sorry,
Betsy Muller.
Betsy. Yeah. No, hang on. Is that the one the one you worked with the four sessions?
Joan Kaler. I worked
Joan
with
Kaler. Yeah. When you mentioned that the sentences, she had such a good understanding of the condition that her sentences were so good, right? Yeah. Can you explain that? Because I think there's a lot of YouTube videos out there, and there's some, great courses. I've taken some myself just to understand it better. But I think the sentence matters a lot.
Yes, you're totally spot on with that. And that's when people hire a practitioner like me. They can't get to the main source. They can't get down that specific. And I'm kind of like I don't know, I'm listening. To my client, I'm kind of searching to make sure it's like I'm an investigator. I'm investigating what the problem is and how it started and how to best fix it. And when you're online searching for something specific, you'll get videos that are what we call global tapping, where you're not being specific. It's very general. And, even though I have this anxiety, even though I have this urge to pull my hair, so it doesn't resonate as much as it should. It doesn't kind of unstick the stuff around why. So that's what I found when I originally found tapping. I found some global tapping videos, and it's hard to get to the root of the problem without being specific. So the more you know about the condition, or the better it is. I mean, I saw all kinds of psychologists, psychiatrists, counselors growing up for this condition. They all just said, don't do it anymore. Sit on your hands, do this, do that. It's literally like you can't control it. I can't explain it, but no one would know that unless they had it. No one would know the intricacies of it. And that's why working with Joan was so powerful, and why it really worked, because those resonate.
So can you give does it depend on 2 parts? One, let's say that the generalized statement is you resonate with it and it feels good enough for you. happens not to be the root cause, but you don't know that, right? Consciously, you don't know that. So you think this is good. Because you're aligned with the statement, is that therefore good enough that it will help you? Or is the work more about, like, if you're not resonating with the sentence, too generalized, I get that. You need to get more clear. But is it the resonating in alignment that is the most significant part? Or is it the precision in all cases?
It depends. I'd say that's a really good question. I don't know that I've ever been asked that before, but it's two parts. So when myself as a practitioner, someone comes to me with this and they say, I don't want I don't want to stop pulling because I feel like I'll lose a part of me. Okay. So we can tap on that. That's very specific. Part of me feels like I can't let go of this. It feels like a good friend. It feels like something I've known my whole life. It would be very uncomfortable. Okay, so we can tap on that, but that might not clear the problem. And how that works is we would know if that's the main core issue or if there are other aspects that come up around that. So when we're tapping together on, even though I don't want to stop because so good, I'm afraid, I don't want to lose this thing. Other things called aspects, we call aspects in tapping, will come up around that. And those things, like we can say Gary Craig, who invented EFT back in the 80s, which was kind of a derivative of Roger Callahan's thought field therapy in the 70s. Gary talks about the core issue as he refers to it as a table. So as practitioners, we know we're trying to knock the legs out from underneath this table. The core belief would be the tabletop. And then there will be these legs that come up around it. So when we're tapping, like I had a client today tapping saying, I don't want to give this up. It feels like such a part of me. And then what came up around that was all this sadness of saying goodbye to an addiction that has served you. And she equated it to feeling like she was going to spiral out of control if she didn't have the pulling. Like, what would she do with her energy if she didn't have the pulling to fall back on? So there are multiple layers of that. I don't know, did that explain it well enough? So it works differently. Different people might need different things. On one level, that just the one statement could be enough. But in my case, when I was working with Joan, I was not taught how to deal with uncomfortable emotions. I was looking for something that someone did to me that my subconscious had blocked out when I was a child, and I was waiting for this horrible thing to come up. Was I, molested? Did some trauma happen to me that I blocked out? No, it was that my parents did not know how to voice or they didn't know how to express any emotions, and therefore I was not taught. So I swallowed my emotions for my life, and I found this really interesting way to manage them by not having to speak about them. But by pulling, I felt comforted by these emotions that did surface, and I didn't know what to do with them. So there's, everyone is different. There isn't the same answer for everyone, but it works kind of in layers. It's like peeling an onion. So whatever comes up, then we work on. And it might take 4 sessions for someone. It might take, a year. Everyone's different.
And what do you say about, so let's say in this case, the example you're giving, right? The person becomes aware of the unconscious behavior, right? So it's sort of the surrogate of not knowing how to speak. Well, you pull your hair out and then you have a conversation in a sense with yourself, right? So you're kind of replacing because you don't have another communication method, right? Now, what's the difference in your mind between becoming aware, therefore conscious, bringing to consciousness the unaware, the unconscious, that basically keeps us safe and, that's its job, to the actual tapping, the words said in tapping? How does that actually, because I mean, I've seen in my own practice, when I was in practice, bringing to consciousness, people go, oh my God, that's it. That's what it is. And sometimes that's all it takes. It's like you bring it to consciousness, healing happens, right? So I'm looking more, what are the situations where that aha it's good, but it's not good enough, as in you need something else. And I'm wondering if it's one's linked directly to behavior, repetitive behavior. I'm just putting it out there. Like, what's the difference between bringing to consciousness where you need EFT and the ones where you don't? Like, have you seen sort of?
Yes, and when we're accessing these acupressure points, there are 9 of them on our body, and EFT stands for Emotional Freedom Techniques. And it's, like you said, it's bringing something into our consciousness that's uncomfortable, that we don't want to deal with, a trauma, an uncomfortable memory, whatever that is, and accessing the energy that is attached to it. So it it's technically going in the wrong direction. It's like if you put a battery in a radio the wrong way and it won't turn on. So something is awry. And when we are tapping and bringing this memory into awareness, that's when that change happens, and why it's so much more powerful than just saying it out loud.
What would your life be like if you were pain-free? If you were one of the millions who suffer from chronic pain, the thought of just one day without it may seem impossible. This is often because conventional medicine tends to fall short in the treatment of pain, opting to prescribe pills or recommend surgery rather than getting to the root cause of the problem. But if you are suffering with emotional or physical pain, there is hope. Join the founder and CEO of Bowen College, Manon Bolliger, live online for your body-mind reboot. Learn how to listen to your symptoms and get to the root cause of your pain. Plus, be trained in basic Bowen therapy moves so that you can reboot your body for optimal health. You don't have to live in pain. You can heal. Stop the pain pill cycle by visiting www.yourbodymindreboot.com to learn more and to register.
You could do it the same with meditation. You could do it the same with hypnotherapy. You could, there's ways that we're accessing this deeper subconscious part of ourselves. And the healing, I think there are so many aha moments that I've witnessed during tapping but there's also other things that happen just working with your own energy that you kind of unlock. I mean, there are so many stuck things. It's almost like it's a way of manifesting, even when you're stuck. You tap about something and that energy is freed. So there are kind of we're removing these blocks to be able to live our best lives. And there are other ways to do it besides tapping. But I'm trying to think of a good example how to I had it in my okay. So your subconscious, when I'm working with a client with hair pulling, our subconscious is so it's like programmed. You're running this literally a program, some negative program in your subconscious mind that just doesn't want to hear about it. So my clients, when we're working with hair pulling, I have them tape their fingers with, whatever, medical tape, Band-Aids, whatever, so that when that negative programming happens, their hand goes up to their hair, their lashes, their eyebrows, they're reminded, hey, I have this tape on my fingers. It doesn't feel the same. Oh, I'm going to shift what I'm doing here. And it doesn't, the way that tapping works is the more that you do it for something specific, like hair pulling, your neural pathways change over time. So eventually it's like, I can explain it like a linked, like a bracelet, a chain that's linked, and it's running this negative programming over and over and over in your mind. I have to pull, I have to pull, I have to pull. The more you interrupt your subconscious and say, I'm going to do this instead. This is what I'm doing. It doesn't feel the same, but I'm choosing to change my neural pathways. Eventually, one of those links gets so weak, it just breaks, and you forget to do the behavior. You just forget. So it works differently for people, but that's kind of how how I teach it, and how it works for my clients that have this specific problem. Other people would do it differently.
Yeah. So what I'm hearing is, so there's a trigger response, like something feels different. You've got something that reminds you, oh, right. So you don't want to do it. And then you have already the solution that you're practicing. And then the more you do that, that's how it's like the brain forgets, because the new reality becomes this new repetition that you're putting in.
And it's taking back your control, because subconscious mind is so strong, and it's almost, this thing feels like it's in control of me, and it could be whatever that thing is, that's negative beliefs that's holding you back from living your best life. It's your subconscious is so strong, so it's almost, I'm taking back my control, and I'm using this tool to be able to see that more clearly, to get rid of the garbage around why I can't. What are those things? What are the reasons why I can't?
Okay. Yeah, no, that's very well explained, what you've done, just to break it up really in the nitty-gritty parts of it.
Yes. I mean, someone who hasn't tapped this might be just all kinds of information that's going in one ear and out the other, but it is, that's basically when someone says, how does this work? That's how this works. There's scientific evidence behind it. There are over 300 published studies of, in medical journals and medical reports and things that prove that this works. There's MRIs done on studies just after 3 minutes of tapping that our cortisol level and our neural pathways in our brains are already changing. So it is very powerful.
So would you be able to do it, I guess, a generalized example that would benefit everybody? And let's call it, I don't know. I mean, stress is the beginning of all things that go wrong, right? So whether it's financial stress or it's, I mean, there's, stress, sickness stress, or discovery stress, or, being away. There's so many things going on now.
I can, and if our listeners would like to add in whatever their stress is. So I will do it generally, which is kind of a global way of tapping. And we'll do 2 rounds about stress together, and I'll talk you through the points that I'm tapping on and be specific with your statements. So it'll work better for you that way. I'm just going to use the word stress, but you put in whatever stress words you have. And how we do this is, we'd like to be sitting down. We'd like our feet flat on the floor. Energy grounds through our feet. If you can't do this sitting down, that's fine as well. But the more you do it properly, the better it works.
Mm-hmm.
And you'll tune into your body, feel where you feel that energy around stress. Some people can say, I hold all my stress in my shoulders. I hold all my stress in my stomach. I feel like I'm gritting my teeth all day. So notice that, kind of tune into that energy where you're holding it, where the stress feels like it is in your body. And then what is it from? What is going on at the moment that is really causing you to hold all this in your body? And give that a number on a scale of 0 to 10. And you can write your number down or you can think it in your head. And what we're trying to do is get this number as low as possible. And this might mean multiple rounds of tapping. And other things might come up, which is kind of the cool thing. Those are the aspects that I talked about before that might come up, and you can write those down and tap on those as needed. But for this example, we're just going to do a basic stress, and we'll do 2 rounds, and then we'll check back in with our number and see if we.
I'm gonna do it with you as well, obviously.
Lower our cortisol level, which our cortisol is produced in our amygdala, the lower back part of our brain. And when our cortisol level is high, our fight, flight, or freeze comes into action, and it's ready to keep us safe at whatever cost. And it hijacks our prefrontal cortex, which is where our decision making takes place. So when we can't make a clear decision, there's all kinds of bad things that happen. So stress can cause that as well. So we're going to start on the side of our hand, and we're going to do 3 setup statements. So you can repeat after me. The setup statements start with even though, and they end with I love and accept myself. So here we go. Side of the hand, and we're tapping with firm but gentle pressure with a few fingers, whatever feels comfortable to you. Even though I'm feeling all this stress.
Should I say it out loud? Or
Yeah,
I guess so. Okay. Even though I'm feeling all this stress.
And I can feel it in my body.
And I can feel it in my body.
It feels stuck.
It feels stuck.
And it feels upsetting to me.
It feels upsetting to me.
I love and accept myself.
I love and accept myself.
And even though.
And even though.
This stress might be a constant stress.
This stress might be a constant stress.
That I'm feeling for days.
That I'm feeling for days.
I am acknowledging that it's stuck.
I'm acknowledging that it's stuck.
I love and accept myself.
And I love and accept myself.
And even though.
And even though.
This stress may or may not be gone in the next few minutes.
This stress may or may not be gone in the next few minutes.
I can use this tapping technique anytime I feel the stress in my body.
I can use this tapping technique anytime I feel the stress in my body.
And I love and accept myself.
And I love and accept myself.
Okay, top of the head. All this stress that I feel in my body.
All the stress that I feel in my body.
Eyebrow point, right where your eyebrows start. I'm acknowledging that I'm holding on to it.
I'm acknowledging that I'm holding on to it.
Side of the eye, right next to your eyebrow point, right next to your eyebrows. I feel it physically in my body.
I feel it physically in my body.
And it's uncomfortable.
And it's uncomfortable.
Under the eye. It's keeping me from moving forward.
It's keeping me from moving forward.
Under the nose. It's taking a lot of energy to be stressed out.
It's taking a lot of energy to be stressed.
And I'd like to let go of some of it.
And I'd like to let go of some of it.
Chin point. All the stress in my body.
All the stress in my body.
Collarbone point. It feels really overwhelming.
It feels really overwhelming.
Underarm point, right?
So you go like this, okay.
Yeah, it's kind of hard. Right under your arms.
I was doing it this way. That's harder.
Yeah, hug yourself. I feel overwhelmed by all this stress.
I feel overwhelmed by all this stress.
It's draining my energy.
It's draining my energy.
Top of the head, all of this stress in my body.
All of the stress in my body
It's causing inflammation.
is causing inflammation.
Eyebrow point. It's not helping when I have decisions to make.
It's not helping when I have decisions to make.
Side of the eye. I feel out of sorts.
I feel out of sorts.
And I feel not like myself.
And I feel not like myself.
Under the eye. All this stress that I'm holding in different parts of my body.
All the stress that I'm holding in different parts of my body.
I may not need to hold on to it.
I may not need to hold on to it.
Or on the under the nose point. Now the chin point. I am acknowledging that I hold on too tightly sometimes to these things.
I'm acknowledging that I hold on too tightly to these things.
Collarbone point. A lot of this is out of my control.
A lot of this is out of my control.
I need to let go of things I can't control.
I need to let go of things that I cannot control.
Under the arm. I am willing to let go of some of this stress.
I'm willing to let go of some of this stress.
It's no longer serving me.
It's no longer serving me.
Okay. And then we would stop there and take a deep breath in and kind of scan your body again. Notice where you were holding that energy in your body, where you felt it when we started originally. And then check back in with that specific stress and notice your number. Sometimes it will go up, which is not unusual. That usually means, wow, there's some stuff that needs to be worked on. But a lot of people just after a few rounds will feel much more calm. And I don't know how that felt for you.
No, mine went down, and it's a constant stress. It's like the stress of the unknown, which can't be known until it's time to know it, which may happen and may not happen. And it's for me, it's to do with the health of my kids. And I don't know how it'll turn out. It's a societal issue at this point. And yeah, and it's caused me tremendous stress. And at this stage, it's like this was interesting. I checked in, it was about a 6,
Okay.
and I got to a 2.
Amazing.
Yeah, that's quite amazing, actually. Yeah.
Because
there's nothing I can do.
there's a control issue around that. It's, we don't have a crystal ball. Is it worth having all this stress when you literally can't control it?
True.
Whatever's meant to happen is going to happen when the time is right, or when, whenever. I mean, it's so sometimes to give up that feeling of holding on so tight. But I can tell you, when you let go of whatever that issue is, whatever the stress is in your life, money, your job, your friendships, your relationships, whatever, that opens the door to let the positive in for that thing.
Yeah.
So I have experienced that personally on big levels. So the tighter you hold on, the less you're going to get what you need, what you're asking for, what you're stressing about. So just trying a little bit of tapping can really help.
Yeah, no, that's a great reminder and very timely. And I think for everyone listening as well, I'm sure it's easy to find a stressor or two in these times. So Yeah, thank you very much for sharing that. So, I mean, our time is actually up. I feel like that's a nice way to end. Is there any maybe how people get hold of you, or do you have a website or
Yeah. So you can find me on my website, tapintohealth.net, and you can schedule a free discovery call with me if you'd like to work with me. I do most of my sessions via Zoom all over the world. So don't be off local or in my time zone. You can also find me on Instagram at tapintohealth_EFT, or you can listen to my podcast on Spotify or Apple Podcasts at Tap Into Health.
Great. Well, thank you very much for sharing your information and your experience.
Yes, thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for joining us at the Healers Café. If you haven't already done so, please like, comment, and subscribe with notifications on, as I post a new podcast every Wednesday with tons of useful information and tips for natural healing that you won't want to miss.